Everyone, welcome to this creation moment. We are going to be making deodorant today. Yay! Now we are going to be making a 100-gram batch. Now the reason I like to do 100-gram batches is because I like to test my products, but then when I'm done, if it's right, then we have a scaled that we can use for our percentage calculation. So we can scale it up or scale it down depending on how much we want. And 100 grams is usually enough to know whether or not I'm done any good or not. So I'm just going to put on some gloves. And we don't want to contaminate our surface. I've already sprayed everything down with alcohol. All right, so the very first ingredient we're going to measure out is coconut oil. So I've got some coconut oil here, and we're going to measure out 50 grams. Now, one thing to remember is when you're working with such small amounts, you really need to stay right spot on, because if you're not, you're going to have issues down the road. Okay, because a 0.2 gram can be a lot. Later on. All right, so there's our coconut oil. Let's set that aside. Our next ingredient is, I've got a few more ingredients that are in this oil phase. Let's just turn this back on. And we're going to go 2 grams. And we need 1 gram of vitamin E, because we want a little bit of an antioxidant in there. And I love vitamin E. There we go. 1 gram vitamin E. The next is prickly pear seed oil. This stuff is amazing. Amazing, amazing, amazing. Let me just grab. There we go. Oops, nope, that's not going to work. Here's a clean one. Now we need 1 gram of this. We just need to tare it. There we go. I'm going to set that there so it doesn't get broken. That is actually a glass pipette, which are nice because I can sterilize those and reuse them over and over if I want to. All right. Now, prickly pear seed we've covered before, so you should be familiar with that if you're following me regularly. Very awesome ingredient, so it's going to do really good things for our pits. Now, we're going to be doing a traditional bicarb based. So this isn't for everyone. A lot of people have trouble with it. I'm not one of those people. So this is being made for me because I want to see if I can do it, because my favorite natural skincare product out there for natural deodorants is No Pong. Now, this is made by a couple that's from Canada and Australia, and it's sold all over the world, which is pretty cool. And this is their spicy chai, which is pretty cool. One of my favorite products. This is similar, but not in my my dry face. We're going to mix our powders next. The first ingredient, of course, is bicarb, which is fine. And I'm going to use 20 grams of bicarb, or 20%. And Diatomaceous Earth, which is also known to be really good at antibacterial properties and other things. I want it in mine. We're just going to use about 8 grams of Diatomaceous Earth. Let's tear that. It's a very light, wonderful powder made from diatoms. Now this is a food grade Diatomaceous Earth, so don't use agricultural grade, which is also available for, you know, things like pest control or bugs in your house. It'll get rid of silverfish, which is kind of cool. And our last powder I'm going to use is cornstarch, and we're going to use 15. And what the cornstarch is going to do is it's going to provide a nice slip. You can substitute other types of starches. This is just one of my favorite. I like corn. But you can use tapioca, you can use potato. There are a lot of starches on the market. Go ahead and try some of them out. We're going to use 15 grams. There we go. There we go. And we're not going to need a preservative for this, although I don't think it would hurt anything. But it's not necessary for the product itself. But I was thinking about it. You know, this is an antibacterial. I don't really want to put preservatives in my skin if I don't have to, honestly. Okay, so the first thing we're going to do is we're going to whip this up. Now, the reason we're going to whip this up is I'm going to color mine, and I'm going to use my favorite summer scent, BumBum cream type. So we're going to be using that. So we're going to be using 5 grams of that in this formulation. So let me just get some things together. Hold on. Okay, I'm going to use a higher powered whip for this one. Hopefully it's going to work. I don't think it's strong enough. We're going to start. Okay, that didn't work the way I needed it to. This one seems to have more. Yeah, this one's got more power. Now I am mixing this at room temperature. It's warm. It is warm. Because I want to know how thick it is. So we're going to add our powdered ingredients slowly. Hopefully I'll be able to incorporate them all. But if it's too much, what's going on here? All around. Okay, there we go. Let's try something else. Okay, what I think I'll do is I will heat this up afterwards once I know what our texture is going to be like. Okay, so let's mix this one up next. I'm not sure what's going on with my NorPro mixer. It's usually pretty good, but my daughter took it apart and I managed to put it back together, but I think it might be toast. These things happen. These things happen. I do have a spare, but I'm not sure exactly where I put it right at this moment. Okay, so the next thing I need to do is I need to mix this. And so I'm just going to do that with a mini whisk. And I'm just going to do it by hand. I'm not going to use the machine. I'm just going to whisk it like this. Now, before we go any further, we need to add our fragrance oil. And I'm going to measure it right into my bowl. Alright. And we want 5 grams. There we go. Okay, so we're just going to add this a little bit at a time, mixing it thoroughly after each addition. Now I want to add a little bit of color to this. So I'm going to do that right now before I get too far ahead of myself. This Nurture So Purple Vibrance. And we're just going to use a smidge. And apparently that is actually a measurement, but it's a volume measure. So give me lots of time to stir it. So just a tiny little purple. This isn't going to color your skin. Might give it a little bit of shiny sparkle. Now, if this is not enough powder to make it a nice thick cream, then I will be adding a little more cornstarch and a little more bicarb or diatomaceous earth, probably the diatomaceous earth. Because I want to be able to put this in a tin and not worry about it leaking out. Now don't worry about those lumps because I'm going to be melting it down again. Making sure we have a smooth salve style. Deodorant. Okay, so I'm going to do 2 grams of diatomaceous earth. I get some more diatomaceous earth and 1 gram. Oops. I'm going to do 3 grams of diatomaceous earth. And add 2 more of the cornstarch. So I'll add 2 cornstarch. There we Now, in colder months, this will be harder because the coconut oil will be harder. It's getting to where I want it. Let me just put some on here. I can feel it. Nope, we need more bicarb. This is how formulating's done, guys. You just slowly add the right ingredients till you have what you want. Now it needs a softer texture, so we're just gonna go with another gram of cornstarch. Let me just do a quick little clean up here and measure out some more. And 2 more grams of cornstarch. I can do 4 though. We're gonna go 5 and 5 cornstarch and bicarb, 5, 5, and 5 cornstarch, bicarb, and diatomaceous earth. So I'm gonna put another 15 grams. Start with the diatomaceous earth. So 5 grams of this. Five more cornstarch. Ooh. Well, seven more bicarb. So I'm gonna go 7, 7, 5, 5. I'm gonna have to put it back into a percentage calculator because I think the amount of coconut oil was a little high. All right. There, we're getting where I need to be. There we go. I'm gonna add all of it because I'm gonna be melting this, and I want it to be like a dough. I don't want it to be like a salve so much, but I want it dough-like. But it needs to be smooth, so we need to melt the coconut oil and give it another mix. But I know what it's going to be like at room temperature, which is good. This is exactly what I wanted. So I got to put everything back in my calculator. And we'll test this out. Okay, so we're going to warm it up. Yes, that's what I want. That's what I want. Okay, I'll be right back. Okay, so we've got our BumBum Cream deodorant, which I have been testing for the last few weeks. It is great in the underarm area, but anywhere else, the very thin skin, it can be irritating. So in 3 weeks, I've only used that much, so not very much at all. And if you'll notice, I poured it in my container a little hot, so I would suggest pouring it at a lower temperature than that. But I was in a rush. So I'm just going to show you how much to use. So just a pea-sized sample here. Whoop. As I choose it all over the place. And as you hold it in your hand, it gets very soft very quickly. So that's enough for both underarms. You could probably use it on your feet, anywhere there's thicker skin. You have smelly feet, you can have BumBum scented feet, which really isn't BumBum. I'm going to put the description of the scent here, but it sounds really funny. I'm in love with this scent though. Totally in love with this scent, and this deodorant is fabulous. So I will put the recipe below, the basic recipe, and then you can, tweak it to your heart's content. I hope you enjoyed this. Please click like and subscribe and come on back to my soapy kitchen anytime. Bye for now.